So the last time we met, we had set a goal looking at assessment and formative feedback. And we had kind of specifically talked about doing some pre-assessments for science. Can you tell me how that went?
It actually went pretty good. Our next one was on force.
Uh-huh.
So I gave them 5 questions.
Okay.
Like, what is force? What is energy? Give me examples of energy.
Perfect.
3 examples of energy. And what is motion?
Uh-huh.
And like majority of the class could tell me that motion was moving.
Uh-huh.
Energy, some could say, like light. They couldn't give me like more than 2.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like,
So you were able to kind of see like what they knew going into the unit? Perfect. Do you have a copy of that pre-assessment?
I have a copy. I do have a copy.
Okay, perfect.
I have it. I'll give it to you.
All right, perfect. If you'll just give that to me, I'll upload it into the evidence portion for you.
Right.
And what did you do with that pre-assessment once the kids had completed
Once I
it?
looked at it, so I knew which areas I need to really focus on.
Uh-huh.
Like, we're really getting ready to get started on the different types of energy. So
Uh-huh.
we're going to focus on, like, most of them knew light and sound.
Uh-huh.
So we're not going to, we'll spend time on it, but not as much as, like, mechanical and,
Okay.
the other end.
So you were able to make some adjustments to your
Yes.
big picture? Perfect. And I know science is a little different because we don't have as much like small groups and things. Did you sort them into like kind of already knows it, doesn't know it, or did you sort them at all, or did you just use the data in general?
I just used the data.
That's fine.
I really didn't
Totally
sort
fine.
them.
I love that we're giving that pre-assessment, especially in science, which is not in 3rd grade. It's not a topic we typically focus on quite a bit.
It's
so I love that
not.
we're bringing data into that conversation. That's amazing. Okay. So you designed and facilitated that standards aligned pre-assessment. And then have you been giving, because I know this unit just started recently, right? Have you given any like checkups to that as you go?
I haven't given any checkups. We just started making our little foldable.
Okay.
So we will check up on that, because we put kinds of energy and it has light, sound. So they'll be filling this in as we go through each energy.
So you have a plan to give that?
Yes.
Perfect. Awesome. Okay. So then you got some confetti. We have met that level 2, which was our goal. Excellent job.
All right.
And then we didn't set a goal down there. Perfect. So let's think through what we want our next goal to be. So I'm going to click Let's Begin. And so we can continue with this same goal, or we can set a new goal depending on what you'd kind of like to do. I know that we've talked about how your kids struggle and how we have a lot of SPED friends. So if we wanted to look at collaboration, we could look at that, or differentiation, or if there's something else that calls to you that you'd like to work on.
There's nothing that calls other than maybe, like you said, the collaboration.
The collaboration? Okay, so let's start with that one. So we'll toggle that on. Oops. Let's grow. All right, so let's start by thinking about where we are right now. And with collaboration, we kind of look at 2 different parts. We look at the opportunities we provide for collaboration, and then we look at teaming, so the intentionality behind how we're pairing kids up and things like that.
Okay.
So if we start with those level 1 indicators for opportunities, designs and facilitates opportunities and tools for learners to work with a partner regularly. Do you feel like that's something that you're doing right now?
I feel we're doing it regularly.
Okay.
I mean, like for every tier 1 lesson that I do, I'm always having them get with a partner, talk with a partner. I don't always, like right now, like pick their partner. Like I have these little cards that I do, and I don't always do the cards either, but they like it when I do it.
Uh-huh.
You know, so it says like march, smiling,
Uh-huh.
you know, or, you know, it just tells them different things.
Right.
Shuffle.
Yeah.
And then when I say stop, sometimes I'll play music.
Uh-huh.
They'll do that.
Okay, so a lot of like randomizing of partners right now? Perfect.
Yes.
Okay, so we're definitely, and I've seen that in our plans as well, like we always try to provide an opportunity for, at the very least, for them turning and talking. So that's excellent. So let's look at, so yay, we are at a level 1 already. Let's look at level 2.
Okay.
So designs and facilitates opportunities and tools for learners to collaborate and communicate effectively in a variety of teams.
All right.
So would you say that they're...
Not right now.
Not yet? Okay.
Like, I do, like I have, when we were doing the, in science, we were making the, not science, in social studies.
Uh-huh.
We were making the environments, like
Right.
forest, desert. So I teamed them up then,
Uh-huh.
you know, to make, and they were in groups of 3
Uh-huh.
to make their own little posters
Okay.
on that. But not in the other subjects. I really haven't teamed them up
Okay,
yet.
perfect. So then are we okay with saying level 2 will be our goal?
Yes,
All right,
yes.
perfect. So let's think about some strategies for that teaming. What are some things that you think are some options or some strategies that are going to help you provide more opportunity for that teaming?
Let's see. I'd really like to do more teaming.
Uh-huh.
The thing is that it's always trying to figure out who can work with who
Right.
with this group. That's part of the problem.
Right.
You know, and even sometimes when I let them pick who they want to team with, it
Right.
turns out to be
A mess.
a mess.
Right.
Yes.
So do you feel like we would need to start with setting some real like norms
Yes,
for working
like-
in a team?
Like maybe go over it again. Like we have talked about it, and here's the thing. I talked about it when I had the 10 students.
Uh-huh.
So maybe that's probably another.
Now that your class has more than doubled.
Yes.
Yeah, we
you know, like
need to revisit that.
I'll go over it, but maybe that's it. I need to just do another lesson
Uh-huh.
and we just go over practicing how do we work in teams.
Yeah.
This is what we do, because I haven't done that with all 22 of them.
Right. And maybe we even start that small and just start with groups of 3 before we try to move into even bigger groups.
Right. Yeah.
Since it sounds like partners are pretty successful.
Yes.
Okay. So we'll start with setting norms for working in a team. What are some of the norms you think we would need to set?
We need to set indoor voice
Okay.
level.
So voice levels. What else?
Listen to each other.
Okay, so effective listening.
And all ideas are good. We don't put people down.
Okay. So,
I'm sorry.
no, I'm just, let's see, sharing appropriately. Sharing and receiving
Yeah.
appropriately. Okay.
And make sure that everyone has an opportunity to speak.
Everyone participates. What are some ways that you could ensure that everyone is participating and that everyone is sharing and receiving in the group appropriately?
All right. Well, with other classes, like I've assigned each person in the group has a
job.
to do.
Let's see. So we could assign jobs and roles. All right. Perfect. So let me check really quick. There is this team contract that I'm going to attach to this, and you'll be able to see it in your Grow Lab as well. And then there's also one for facilitating conflict resolution. I'm going to attach both of those, and you can kind of peruse them and look to see if you feel like they might be beneficial for your class and things like that.
Will definitely be beneficial.
Yeah, especially the facilitating conflict, right?
Yes.
When do you think you would want to try your first teaming opportunity?
Let's see. Wow. Next week, what are we doing? Maybe. Well, next week, I think what we could do is talk about teams, what we expect, and then the following week we can go into
Actually practice getting in there?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. with something academic. And maybe even when you talk about teams and like the roles and stuff, maybe you could like have something that doesn't feel academic where they practice working in a team.
Because that's what I was thinking, not when they're actually having to do it,
right.
But yes, we're going to practice how to do this.
Okay, so I'm going to add that as an option too, to practice working in a team. So we said next week we're going to talk about it. We're going to set norms and all of that. And so I'm just going to put by November 8th.
Yes, okay.
And then I'll put, okay, so what would our evidence be for that?
What could we use for evidence? Well, I guess for the practice or from when we actually do it?
For when we like set the norms and we talk about how to work in a team.
All right. How can I show it? I guess I could take pictures of them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Working.
That could even be those pictures. You could even add them to your anchor chart to show the kids like this is what it looks like, right?
True.
Okay.
Yeah.
So pictures of students working in teams on their practice activity?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And then, so we're going to, and then we said the second strategy would be to practice a non-academic teaming activity. And that could be a great, what do we call it? Character strong time thing?
Yes.
Something like that. Okay.
I did not eat my lunch, so you'll hear my stomach.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No,
Feel free to eat and snack, whatever.
No, I ended up doing something else and just,
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to, and then, so we said that's going to happen by November 8th. That's sometime next week. And then the week after that, you want to try it with something academic.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I'm going to add that academic teaming opportunity. And that's by November 15th. And then what would be our evidence for that?
For that, I guess once again, I could do pictures, but hopefully whatever academic assignment I get them, that will be what we'll use as well.
Absolutely.
Because all their names should be on it, and each person should have contributed.
Perfect. So I'm going to say work samples. Awesome. Will you invite me to that whenever you do that? Perfect. Awesome. I would love to see that. Okay, so let's talk, and we kind of talked a little bit about it already, but okay. So actually, I'm going to take what we said up here, like the setting norms and everything. That's going to go right into the teaming part.
Okay.
So we said facilitates learners to identify and understand tools that support effective collaboration. I feel like setting those norms and everything is that level one. So do you feel like that too?
Oh, yes.
Okay,
yes.
perfect. So we'll make that level one our goal. And then here we'll put this option. And we're going to commit to that by the end of next week. And that's where we said pictures of students working in teams. Oh, and let me add those norms. Sorry, I put this. I think we got ahead of ourselves just a little bit.
Oh, no, did we?
Let's see. So here's some turn and talk procedures that I'll add those.
Okay.
And then this is step by step how to introduce collaboration in the team contract.
All right.
So I think that would be great. Perfect. Okay. So we're going to do that. And then up here, we have the academic. And right here, I'm going to put the non-academic.
All right.
So it's still everything we talked about. I'm just putting them in different places in Grow Lab. Okay. All right. So now we have our second goal. We're going to work on that collaboration piece. So our next session is going to be, let me see if I can get my calendar up. November 11th. Is that okay?
Okay.
All right. So you'll have that, you'll have done the contract with them and everything. Actually,
we wouldn't have done the other.
you wouldn't have done the other thing. Okay,
Right.
so let's do the 18th instead. That way
Okay.
you've done both.
Yes.
And then that way we can talk through that.
Right.
All right. I will put that in Grow Lab, and then and I will send you a calendar invite as well.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
All right. Perfect.
All right.
Thank you, Debbie.
Thank